Hi, everybody. It's Eamon here from another episode of Pat Monk Presents. Today we have coming all the way from the windy city of Chicago, we do have Andrew from iPost. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, Eamon. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. So, those of our listeners that aren't familiar with iPost, can you give us a quick download or a quick overview of what it is you do and how you help people and businesses?
Sure, that's great. And again, thanks for having me. iPost is an email messaging platform, or rather known as an email service provider (ESP). There's a lot of them out there, and I think there's a key differentiator in iPost than many other of our competitors. Think about this: as an email messaging platform, you have customers today that demand this sort of personalized aspect, and a lot of people talk about personalization in email. We are sort of like the de facto standard when it comes to sending emails on a messaging platform. So taking data, ingesting data, seeing rapid ROI. And hopefully we'll talk about some of the unique differentiators that iPost presents and sort of the industries that we're in. But all in all, an email messaging platform built for the modern marketer.
Perfect. And with this, like you're saying, for the modern marketer, I mean, what kind of industries do you find yourself, really focused on or even expanding into?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And I think one of the things that if you look at email service providers today, they have this expansive look of verticals that they want to be in. We're really focused on 6 very unique niches in the marketplace.
Mhm.
Franchise development, casinos, both online and brick and mortar casinos, publishing and media, universities, and associations. Now we have clients from all different types of verticals, but those 6 are very unique from the email service provider industry. Not a lot of companies really go after these sort of niches. They talk about it, but they don't necessarily specialize in it. And hopefully we'll get into a little bit why we specialize in it, especially the casino and franchise industry, which is often underserved in our industry.
Yeah, it's quite an eclectic mix. I
Yeah,
mean, franchising, casinos, universities, and
yeah,
if I had to create a list, I probably wouldn't put them all together. But it's interesting that you said, and something you said is so true. Definitely in marketing and any type of businesses, niching down, finding out where you can provide the most value. Because if you try to be something to everybody, you're nothing to nobody. And niching down is definitely one very, very key point. And when you're growing at the moment, I mean, what different acquisition channels are working, at the moment? Or like, are you doing a lot of outbound, inbound, the website? Like, where is it happening at the moment?
Yeah, we participate in a lot of industry events. We write a lot of content. If you go to our site, you'll notice that a lot of the things that we discuss as it relates to those particular industries, we focus on content, we focus on providing the solutions and talking their language. And what I mean by that is anybody can talk about email marketing and how an email platform can help them. But oftentimes when we start thinking about these niches that we're in, they're often underserved in understanding the business. And so our acquisition channels are pretty basic, right? Industry events, producing content, producing it in all the different sort of channels that we are in. We bring in experts. We talk about specific things with people that are actually in the industry. So we're consistently learning, and it's literally all about content. Even it's really all about content. And we do some search, we do some organic search, we do some paid search, but ultimately people find us because we participate and speak the language of that particular industry.
Fantastic. And like when you're saying that, let's say content and you're going to events, you're drumming up a lot of awareness. And like you mentioned the website, people are coming to the website. I mean, how important is your website, from taking all those visitors, all that interest, and them into maybe future clients and happy customers?
And that's an interesting thing, because we often talk about how websites can, should, and does convert people from being a prospect to a buyer. When we start thinking about an email messaging platform like iPost, what we try to do is, if you've ever bought a car, right? You go and you look at the car, you watch a video about it, you can go to the website and you can say, oh, that looks like a beautiful thing and whatever. But you don't really understand how the car works or feels, the seat, the steering wheel, how close it is to the ground. We treat our website like a car. We want to give you enough information, but really the only way to understand the value proposition and really understand what we can do for your particular vertical is to take it for a test drive, to book a demo, to understand what it can and solve the problems for you. It's much different than that of just saying, we can send an email for you. You have to experience it. And so our website acts as sort of like the catalyst to say, hey, here's enough. We speak your language. We understand your business. We understand some of the challenges that you may be in, but really it's all about taking it for a test drive and getting that feel.
Yeah, 100%. A great analogy as well there. So with this kind of switching gears a little bit, Andrew, and talking about you, as a leader within marketing, I mean, what keeps you busy on a day-to-day basis?
A lot. I've been doing this for 23 years. I've run email programs on the client side for companies like Groupon. I've also owned my own marketing agency. And what gets me sort of pumped up in the morning is working with clients, working in marketing, working with our support team, because those are the three areas that I really focus on here at iPost. What keeps me motivated is to, I don't know, maybe be the evangelist for email. And because often it's a lost art, a lot of people don't stay in it. There's so much room for opportunity for growth, for optimization, for really taking sort of a program from one level to the next, or at least inspiring people to say, maybe I should think about it a little bit differently. Keeps me busy because on the support side, we're dealing with people who have issues, right? Problems or need help, using the software, to marketing, to understanding that industry and putting content out to say, how do we get more people interested? To the services and success side, where I deal with customers and talk about their programs, talk about the use and getting the value of the system over and over and over. And that keeps me quite busy every week, and it charges me up, to continuously be in this industry. And I always tell people this, you're dealing with a person who is in love with email marketing, because my license plate here in the state of Illinois says email on it. And it said that for a while, and people are like, wow, who am I really actually dealing with here? So that's what pumps me up. That's what keeps me going. And I believe that our customers value that. Not only that, from hiring great people that understand their industries as well.
I love that. So being there, done that, literally have the right plate to prove it. So
yeah, totally.
So with this, now that we're coming up a little bit further in our podcast, what I want to do is maybe jump into some rapid fire questions. So on start and crisp answers. So you're in the hot seat. Are you ready?
Ready, fire away.
Let's go. So what was the last book you read or maybe currently reading?
The last book I read was, I can't think of the name of it now. It was, how to not give a fuck. Sorry for cussing, but how to the subtle art of not giving a fuck, right?
I know the book. I've listened to it.
Good.
Yeah. It's a good one. It's a good one. So also with this, I mean, focusing on what you're doing now, I mean, where do you find is most of your time or your focus within, iPost taken up now?
The use of the platform. It's a very expansive platform. Working with our development teams when a customer has a suggestion, working with our customers to make sure they're getting the use of the platform, understanding the industries, listening, reading, watching things like a podcast like this around some of our industry partners and stuff. It takes up a lot of time because, to me, we are students of this craft. We are not experts. I know I've been called an expert before, and I appreciate that. I think of myself as a student. I have to consistently learn and adapt to what's happening in the marketplace.
And you know what? It's great to hear you say that. I'm sure you're very humble, but after 23 years to have that student mindset, that's incredible. That's incredible. So Well done there. So what I want to do is give you the last word, Andrew. So imagine everybody forgets, all the great stuff you just shared, and you just want to leave them with one point about iPost. I mean, what would that be?
Email marketing, although on the surface looks easy, it's actually very difficult. Find your right partner. It may or may not be iPost. It may or not be somebody else. Find the people that you feel comfortable with in the platform and the people that you're going to deal with, because ultimately they're going to help you through your successes, your good times and your bad, and understand your business. When you choose the right platform, that's one thing. When you choose the right partner and people, it's a whole different thing. And I encourage you guys to anybody listening to this to think about that. It's always not about just sending an email. It's about dealing with people who know how to send an email and to do it very, very well.
Very good. Very good. Well, look, if you want to learn more, definitely check out, it's just iPost.com. So
iPost.com. Go and check us out. We're happy to help.
Definitely. So thank you very much, Andrew, for taking the time to be on our podcast today. And that is it. That is it for today's episode. Looking forward to seeing everybody on the next one. So from now until then, all the best and bye-bye.
Cheers.